Yeah, this is Dave from cheapbooks.com playing World of Tanks. The tank is the Panzer T25. I believe it's the Panzer Kampfwagen. I'm not sure how it's pronounced. It's a T25. It is a German Tier 5 medium tank. The map is, I believe it's Malinovka. I must have requested a platoon for some reason, or maybe someone did it with me. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do on this map, I want to help spot enemy tanks as much as possible. So what you're going to do is you're going to head for either the bushes off in the distance along the lake, or a bush on along this wall, which is actually very safe because it's a depressed area. It's lower ground. And you've got the wall in front of you, so you can actually park over here and they can't hit you, or it's difficult for them to hit you. Or you're going to head for the bushes over here in the middle of the map. The bushes are actually equal distance between you and the enemy. It looks like it's closer to you, but you can actually make it from the other side just as easily. What I'm probably going to do in this game is head for those bushes and spot as many enemy tanks as possible. I probably have coated optics on this tank because I have coated optics on almost every tank I play. I do a lot of spotting. I spot way more than most people. On any given day, in terms of spotting, there's a statistical page. I'm in the top 3% of spotting of all World of Tanks players on the American servers, which means I spot more than 97% of players on any given day. Now, spotting is a better technique than shooting at tanks. I would rather spot than shoot at tanks. You get a lot more experience from spotting than from killing tanks. And I am going to spot a lot of tanks. I'm going to spot like 10 tanks. Now, in order to get that row of bushes, you got to go as fast as possible. Try not to go through any trees. Get there as quickly as possible. Pick whichever has the most cover. You'll note that I didn't go to that bush over there. I picked one that had more cover. Slowly roll in and just sit and wait. If you get spotted, you want to fire back, so you want to lock on to somebody and run and hit that button while you're running. Now my allies are going to be shooting at those tanks, but I'm going to get the credit. Like these guys, they're going to try over and over again to take that hill, and they won't be able to. I prevented them from doing it, and all the damage that they take, I get the credit for. It's the same as me shooting at the tank, and I'm not even shooting at them. So if I spot 4 tanks and my allies shoot at those 4 tanks, it's similar to me shooting at 4 tanks at the same time. That's why spotting is an advantage, and you get way more experience. I'm always aiming at tanks while I am playing. And the reason why is, like I said, if they spot me, I'm going to start blasting my gun like crazy. The guy who created the platoon wants me to go up on the hill, but I am not going to. He requested the platoon with me, I believe. And I always accept because, like I said, you know, people have helped me a lot, and I return the favor. If you want to fire at those tanks, you can't do it from this position. You have to reverse so that they don't see the bloom. They don't see the smoke from your gun. However, if you reverse here and fire, they won't spot you, but anyone up on those hills will spot you. So it's very dangerous to fire when you're in this position. And like I said, I'm constantly aiming at other tanks. You'll see that there's a circle above his tank that's blinking. I'm the one that did that. I picked the tank and I hit that button so that it flashes to my allies, and my allies will shoot at the tank that I pick, and I'll get the credit for it. They're still asking me to go up on the hill. But obviously I'm not going to do it. It would be very dangerous for me to leave right now. I could get spotted very easily by the enemy. Now the score is 4-1. If it gets to be 8 kills, I will roll across the field, even if I'm all the way in the back. So if it were 8-8, for example, and I were here in the back, I would just drive right across, because it usually means that there's not enough people defending the base, and it's usually safe to roll across. If it gets to be around 8 kills, I will roll across and head for those buildings so I can spot them using proximity spotting, kill off anyone that's remaining, and help my allies. Or if my allies start to roll across, you always want to be in front of your allies. You can see that there's a guy over here that was trying to advance. If he gets in front of me, he's going to do all the spotting and not me. And you don't want that, because then you lose all that credit. So I'm always hunting for tanks. If it gets to be quiet for too long, I might advance across the field. 6-3, I think, is too early. You'll note that they have 2 SPGs, so the SPGs are probably far away across the map. You'll see that an ally is coming. I don't know if he's going to make it or not. Okay, I think he will. There was another game where an ally came across and they killed him. So because he made it across, I'll probably try and go across too. Or I'll start firing. So I'm getting an eye of what's out there. I believe that there's at least 3 tanks. I'm going to try and shoot at this guy as I'm going across. You stop, aim, shoot, and move.
Ready to fire.
You'll see I stop, shoot. I'm going to shoot at him even though he's not spotted. And try to count how many hit points you think he has. Now he's dead, so it's time to move again.
Permission to engage.
I think that KV-1's going to kill me. But I'm not sure. It could have been another game. Or he might be the last tank in the game and I'm going to hunt him down. You'll also notice that I'm driving through the bushes. By driving through the bushes, I increase the chance that they won't be able to spot me. You don't want to drive out in the open. Drive in the bushes as much as possible. Hide behind enemy tanks so they can't shoot back at you.
Penetration. I don't see the target.
You'll notice that I had to wait for the gun to swing around. That's one of the disadvantages of the game. And when you use the sharpshooter mode, you have to deal with it more often. You want to keep your gun locked on to your enemy targets. Now, I was spotted. Hiding in a bush is not going to help, because when you're spotted, they're going to know where you are. So what you want to do is look for cover. And there's no solid objects other than this little piece of wood, but it's a little bit too far away. So I'm going to head down for the low ground, because the low ground will give me protection. And I'm getting a shot from over here from 2 tanks. If I keep on driving towards them, they're going to keep hitting me. So I'm going to move horizontally to increase the chance that they're going to miss me. As you can see, it looks like they missed a shot because I changed. You can see that it's more difficult for him to shoot at me when I move in that direction. Always keep moving when you're out in the open.
I don't see the target. Ready to fire.
Keep your gun at that angle when you're shooting at somebody. So he's going to see this. That's exactly what he sees. And this angle is the perfect angle for deflecting enemy shots. You'll notice that I was driving directly towards the tank, but I turned my tank to head towards that direction instead of this direction. And the reason why I did that is because it brings the gun around faster. If I had waited for the gun to come around on its own, it would have taken more time. So what I did was I also turned my tank and it spins the gun around faster. It's already loaded. And if you use the auto aim, it will lock on faster than if you aim manually. I also got that gun right over the corner, which increases the chance that he's going to ping off of my tank.
Enemy armor is hit. Target lost.
His strength is in front of him, so if you are a little bit to his side, he can't shoot at you. So that's why I'm heading towards the side of his tank. And if you're going to ram him, you want to ram him on the side, not directly head on. If you ram, you don't want to hit head on. You want to ram and hit to the side so that if he fires his gun, it will go over your shoulder, as opposed to if you're head on and he shoots you right in the head. For some reason, I stopped. Oh, the game's over. Okay, so that's the game. I didn't get any kills. It was 15-4. I spotted 10 tanks in this game. I got the top EXP for the team. My base EXP, without doubles and triples and bonuses, was over 1,000. I think. You know, I'm not sure if it was. But I didn't kill any tanks. I didn't fire that often. However, I did get the top EXP from spotting, and that's why spotting is important in the game, and that's why I do it. When you spot, you get more EXP, which means your crew levels up faster, you get more crew skills faster, and your tank levels up faster. It's more rewarding to spot than to kill. That's why my noob meter scores are lower than most players. It's because I don't shoot my gun. I spot tanks, and I get the experience from spotting, and it doesn't show up in noob meter or WN8. They don't give you good scores for spotting. Okay, so that's a game. It's a Panzer T25. It's a German Tier 5 medium tank. My crew has like 4 or 5 skills, and the reason why is because I share the crew with like 5 or 6 different German medium tanks. I've got the Panther II and the Indian Panzer, and I've got all the premium German medium tanks, excuse me, like the Panzer MIT 8.8 and the Mutz. I got the Mutz, which is a great tank. So, and I've got the S35, which is a Tier 3. So I share the crew, and they level up a lot faster. In a short period of time, I can go to 3 skills to 4 skills in like 2 weeks, only playing each tank like twice per day. Okay, so that's the tank. If you have any questions or comments, please post below.